Hello.
Hello.
All right. So, there's a lot of content in this game. So, I'm going to take a quick second to introduce this mode. There's been a lot of modes in modern Kirby games where you get to play as random characters, usually like main characters. This game really upped the ante on that. As you can see, there's a whole lot of unique characters here, but I'm just going to go ahead and pick the one that's the most overpowered. So this run is going to be guest star as the Mage Sisters. This game's kind of antagonists. There's a DLC story where they become not antagonists, but what they are insanely powerful. So with all that being said, all ready to get started?
Looks like we're all ready.
Okay. Once I just noticed something looks really funny, and once that's happening, we can get started. Okay. My capture card likes not being nice. Okay, that's better. All right, 3, 2, 1, go. So, these three characters, Francisca, Flamberge, and Zan Partizan, they play in a tag team style, so I have to actively switch between the three. I immediately switch to Zan, the Electric Sister, because did you just see that movement? It is the fastest movement that any character has in this game. So, little known fact is a lot of kind of modern-ish Kirby games have a dodge button. There are a lot of Kirby games with a block button. This one also has like a dodge, kind of like Smash. And if you do those in midair, a lot of characters have special effects for them. Zan's is very fast. I'm using a lot of Flamberge as well. That's just kind of because there's a lot of ice in the beginning of this run. Unfortunately, despite being my favorite of the three sisters, however, she is kind of functionally the least useful of the three. So, moving on, we're also going to see a lot of Francisca, the Ice Sister, in the level design. She isn't too useful at the beginning, but as we get later in the game, it's going to throw a lot more of these enemy arenas at us, and they're going to be a very big part of the later game. And Francisca, the Ice ability in this game will be able to freeze people, which is stupid good for killing very big enemies almost instantly.
Yeah, pretty much among quite a few other things, honestly.
Also, I'm about to get into an auto-scroller, so I'll talk a little bit about it.
Our favorite part, auto-scrollers.
I'll go a little bit into a game mechanic, which is, as you might have seen, you can make friends with enemies in this game and make them like little AI helpers by throwing these hearts at them. I kind of did a weird combination of enemies, but the combination I did is very important because I want to have Dribbly, the water enemy, at the end of this train right here. So this game, we use timing based on in-game timer for the most part. To clarify, this estimate is RTA-based, not in-game time-based, so don't worry about that. But as you can see, I can collect that upgrade heart right after I bonk out of the train. The animation when you collect a power-up heart doesn't move the in-game timer, but that whole animation of bonking out of the train does. Dribbly's hitbox is big enough to where it can grab that and cancel the second half of that bonking out of the train animation by being able to grab the heart immediately when hitting the ceiling. So it's very important we get that because it does save a lot of time there. On top of that, we also have Parallel Woods. Since this is kind of the OP characters in the game and you have to do like a kind of DLC mode to get them essentially, this version of Guest Star has all of the parallel bosses, which are just harder versions of bosses. And this game also has checkpoints. This is much more arcade style than like the main story mode of the game. instead of being level by level based, there are these stages which you have to clear that are just kind of mashed together portions of the story mode as well as some other levels. And because of that, the main kind of thing is, you know, it's kind of a time attack based mode. It always wants you to try and see if you can beat the game faster and faster. But beating it in one sitting is not always, you know, ideal, especially if you just want to play it casually. So it has little checkpoints that you can use. A little bit of mini-boss fighting here. You see me sometimes throwing out friends like I just did there before getting into a boss. That's just because not only do you want to not have too many friends, because friends can kind of mess things up a little bit, but also to scale difficulty, the more friends you have with you at a time, the more health the boss will have. And a lot of situations, AI helpers do not do good enough damage, or like, they don't help fast enough for the health scaling to actually, like, be worth it. What I'm trying to say is that they don't do damage fast enough for the added health that a boss gets to be worth it. And an exception is right here. I'm going to take this friend Vividria into King Dedede. Not even necessarily for the boss fight, though. It's even more so for, like, the beginning of the second level. Having Vividria is good over a lot of other friends, for a part I'll get into in a little bit. I also messed up the beginning of the DDD fight here. That screen clearing move is... it stops the in-game timer, which is one thing that makes it really good. But on top of that, one thing to keep in mind about it is that you need to charge it by defeating enemies, so it's not, like, spammable.
Yeah, and that can sometimes be a downfall of having the extra helpers, is they'll end up killing enemies, and then you don't have enough to actually use that move.
Yep. It's not a common problem, that one, but especially because a lot of the time the way you do some fights is routed around not using your friend meter too much. But that's the end of level 1. These little puzzle pieces sections happen here. You can see my golds on the right. I was close. And now we're going to get into level 2.
Yeah, that was really close.
Yep. This game does track all of, like, your best segments, not between checkpoints, but between full stages. And it also tracks your best clear time, not only in a combination of your sum of best, which is just all of your best times. I almost died there. Hello. But also your... It also tracks just, like, your full segment clear time. So it's pretty nifty. It makes running this game very easy. Because of that, we also, on the leaderboards for, I think, unless you get world record, you're allowed to submit a run just with screenshots of your game, which you can take on your Switch and upload to Twitter for good quality screenshots, which is really nice. One downside of that is that we don't want segmented runs, because with the way that the game saves times, it's very easy to, like, do a segmented run, kinda. Also, this is the main reason you want Vividria over other partners in level of the game, and she is really not pulling her weight right now. A lot of other partners will do that section horribly, and sometimes she'll do it pretty well, except that time she didn't, so...
Yeah, the allies can be sometimes slow about doing things, and if they see, like, the enemy or something, they get very fixated on it.
Yeah. The thing that's good about Vividria is the usual strat there is or the old strat there is to use, like, a Blade Knight, and Blade Knight will, like, take damage off of an enemy by jumping up really slowly to it, and then doing a mid-air attack that will cause him to bounce backwards, so he'll have to slowly climb up stuff again. Not only does the Vividria float, which makes things a little easier, but she also doesn't do an attack which knocks herself back. The only thing that can go wrong there is that she notices an enemy that she forgot to kill that's farther back in the level, which is what happened to me there. So cool. Speaking of cool, we're in an ice-themed area, and we just finished the second level, or the first checkpoint of the second level. I'm gonna switch to Francisca here and just start dash attacking. At this point, I kind of want to focus a little bit because there's going to be a lot of cues on screen that I'm going to try and use for the next couple screens. So like a perfect donation time is right.
Sure. Okay, we have a $25 donation from Odeon, who says, hello all. I see we still haven't gotten much towards the bonus game incentive, but that's about to change, right? I mean, it's Oblivion. Who doesn't love this game? It's a bloody mess, but we love it. We also have a $10 donation from Lemon Zero, who says, Magolor is the best star ally. Good luck to the runner.
Thank you.
I disagree because on the one hand, yeah, he throws apples, but on the other hand, they're gem apples. No.
I'd like to give my title of favorite star ally to DeRoche personally. Big fan of Squeak Squad and that character in particular. But actually, speaking of donation stuff, I'd like to plug a little something donation-wise. I'm running this game right now. This isn't going to be the only time I'm on stream today. Right after this run is done, I get to go into Octopath Traveler, which has a character bid war. So if you guys want to see a certain character for that game, you need to get in now.
Well, currently, I can tell you who's in the lead if you'd like.
I know who's in the lead, but let's let the stream know, because if the stream doesn't want that character in the lead, I'd be very happy to get that character out.
Currently, Hanet is in the lead with $257. The next one in the lead is Cyrus at only $10. Cyrus is also, those are my two favorites from when I played it casually. But so if you do not want to see Hanet being ran in the next run, then we need to get those donations in for that.
I think I had a few friends I told to go donate for Primrose, and then they went and donated on it, so...
Of course, when you ask your friends or your community to do one thing, they love to do the opposite a lot of the time.
No, I mentioned this bid war to the Octopath community, but I knew the second that if I told them to donate for, they would definitely not donate for that.
Right,
character.
yeah.
Also, this is an arena. This is like a very, what you're gonna see in a lot of arenas for the rest of this run is just the snowflake attack. It's a very good.
Yeah, the way it travels and it's the slow speed actually works to its advantage. So yeah, a lot of stuff will probably get focused down by it.
Yeah, a major thing about that too is that it also freezes big enemies, which is incredibly useful because that will like insta-KO them. And that's super good. Getting into Meta Knight here, he's a little bit of a luck-based nightmare. He likes to jump around and do a lot of stuff that I don't like him doing. That was a pretty good first phase, actually. Gonna do that attack right as he tries to go off screen. And then I'm just gonna try and kill him with the cloud attack right here before he can even react. We were a second off from having a very cool time for this level. I should have gone a second slower.
Close enough?
I mean, if you round up, because I did get 54 on the decimal point. So you could round up.
Yeah, let's go with that.
Yeah! Alright, level 3. So, one thing I'll point out about this game is that this game is very... Okay. I messed up a little bit there, but this game is very fan servicey. This game has a lot of callbacks to older Kirby games. I'd like to get on the ground, please. This game has a lot of callbacks to very old Kirby games, or new and old. Every Kirby game. It's like the Smash Ultimate of Kirby games, basically. But one of the things about that is there are a lot of things that you can see in this game that come from very old Kirby games and haven't been seen basically since With that being said, there is a mini boss we're about to come up on that if you are a fan of Kirby's Dream Land 3, you might not have seen in a while. Until then, there's like another screen or two. But
Yeah, I'll be honest, when I first saw that, I was actually kind of impressed by that. I was like, oh, they actually remembered this one.
I am a really big fan of Dreamland 3, actually, so I was very excited to see them back. And no, it's not the whale.
Although they did bring that one back.
They did bring that one back in.
Oh wait, yeah.
64.
Well, yeah, but I mean, past that.
Oh yeah, this series has a lot of whales. Either way, the boss I was referencing this whole time was which, so this game, if you haven't noticed when it comes to boss fights, there are a lot of these kind of mid-fight changes in the boss. And when a boss is phase changing, it has this super armor essentially, so that it can't take any damage, so that you can see the phase transition. These guys have so little HP that the only reason they don't die instantly to that attack that I just did, the screen wipe, is because the game wants you to see the phase transformation. But then even once that transformation gets done, we can use the laser to just insta-kill both of them.
Have we mentioned the Mage Sisters are kind of busted?
Again, the stuff that you have to go through in this, I'd be upset if it's busted.
Yeah, it's purposely done, and for what you do have to go through to get them, it is not the easiest task.
Also, again, we have to fight. Okay, please, game. We have to fight all the parallel versions of bosses in this character's mode, so you know. So that's the checkpoint for level 3.
Do you have time for a donation?
Yes.
Great. Well, first of all, I would like to announce that we are over $9,000. So thank you so much, everybody, for your support. This has been so great so far. Let's get to 10K.
Over 9,000.
I got reminded of that because we have a $29 donation from KB242 who said 10K hype. Let's go.
Yeah.
We also had a $50 donation from the Nerd Wonder. No comment, but very much appreciate the donation. We have a $10 donation from Burks85 who says, Flossed Fatales. That's worth $10.
Yeah.
Hey, we got someone to say it. Perfect.
Good work.
Is that all we have for now, or do you have even more?
I have more if you want more.
Okay, because I am about a screen away from an auto-scroller, another one of those train auto-scrollers. So let's make like a train and keep on barreling through.
Yes, in chat, feel free to provide me with more donations, especially while we have a minute. All right, we have an $18 donation from Dance Dad, who says, Greetings all. I'm looking forward to this Zelda 1 randomizer run. As this is the first Fatale event with bidding and incentives, I wish to honor the first female groover from ATDQ 2019 by having a bad idea with the 1 as the I as a file name. Keep it up, ladies, and keep on grooving all. We also have
You are down to.
Oh, no, you got it.
No, I was gonna tell you that you could keep going.
Oh. Well, alrighty. We have a $15 donation from Zello100. That was fun to read. It says, for Sparkover, so she can suffer more on the 2DX.
Yeah. I'm always down to make my friends suffer.
Yeah. In a fun way. In a good fun way.
Yes.
Supportive way.
Also, I'm gonna do another funny here. I'm gonna jump on this platform to get on this faster. He has long to get out of the train. And then we're out of the train. And then you know what happens right after we did that train auto-scroller? I get to do an enemy after going through 2 pretty empty screens. This is kind of a low point in the run, unfortunately. But you know what that means? That means we can talk about whatever we want. It's like a slumber party.
Yeah. You know what's fun to talk about at slumber parties?
What?
Bonus incentives.
Bonus incentives. Yeah. I've lost countless nights to those.
Yeah, of course. I know that's in detail a lot of what are talked about at sleepovers. So we're up to $285 out of the $3,000 incentive for the Final Fantasy III bonus any % run. So thank you all for getting donations in for that. Let's keep it going. We are also still currently sitting at that 255 out of the 3,000 for the Beatmania 2DX extended playtime incentive.
All right, I was pretty close to gold on that level as well. I was only 4 seconds off, so.
Yeah, going through Death Stars with any other character in that will actually have you fight the Mage Sisters, but because you're playing as them, they just give you a little...
Oh yeah, they give you an arena that's like 3 enemy waves of like 2 enemies. It's almost a little bit disappointing if it wasn't, you know, very short, so we take those. Also, I know I explained earlier that you need to charge up to use these screen wipes, and we kind of just used one a few enemies ago, but you get a screen wipe full charged by reaching a checkpoint or an end of an area, so we just immediately kind of get to destroy another boss. It's great. With that being said, something that's a little jarring, that can be a little jarring if you don't know a lot about this, so I'm going to bring it up now, is that you're gonna see a lot of like very vastly changing scenery. Like I'm gonna go through this door in this autumn area, and we're gonna be in like the beach basically. I said this game is very fan servicey. I am what is essentially Milky Way wishes from Kirby Superstar right now. So like every couple of screens, you're just gonna see a totally different environment. This game is very shameless about, you know, its inspiration that it takes from other Kirby games. But the other Kirby games don't have the mages, so are they really that good? I mean, I guess there is a Kirby game with like a robot suit. That's pretty hard to top.
Yeah, I'd say that, depending on your preferences, that might be a little bit of a spicier thing to go for. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. The 3DS Kirby games are great. I wish that 3DS was easier to stream because I would love to.
I agree so much because I probably would actually try to run those if otherwise, but that's not easy when you don't have a capture card.
Yeah. Triple Deluxe and Planet Robot are my favorite Kirby games. I will be honest about that. They are just incredible.
Also, if you thought we were done with PonerCon before, no, we're not.
Well, we actually kind of are because.
Yeah, actually, I amend what I just said. Never mind, they're about to be done.
They were shiny that time. We found like shiny ones.
What? I'm not even gonna try to map the chances of that because no.
Well, if you have the shiny charm and you're doing the monster method.
Yeah, that's true. Let's go with that.
I have a friend who shiny hunts. I know numbers. Also, all my friends are gonna die in this section. So if you liked my friends, I'm sorry.
Nice knowing them.
Yeah. Okay, Bugsy stayed alive. Let's go, Bugsy.
I am actually surprised Bugsy did not die in all of that.
Yeah, I'm surprised too, because like if an enemy, or not an enemy, friend rather, because this is a game about friendship, if a friend dies but is still like on screen when you go in the door, they'll revive themselves when, you know, you get to the next screen. But that didn't even happen to Bugsy. Bugsy just straight up lived. Granted, it doesn't really matter whether a friend lives or dies. We're gonna toss them at all at a certain point anyways, but like, it's just fun to see what happens. And also, the death animation, like the little pause that happens when a friend dies, doesn't advance the in-game timer, so it doesn't really mean much to that either. It should be right here, though, I believe. Yep. Okay, right here on this screen. We're gonna get into an arena, so I'm going to toss Bugsy. Bye, Bugsy.
It was my favorite.
Bugsy's pretty cool when you're not fighting him as a mini-boss in a GBA Kirby game.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, I take back what it said.
Understandable.
I've had enough lost runs of Nightmare in Dreamland to Bugsy.
I have had enough driving down for one speed game.
Would you like a donation?
Let me see what the next room is.
Sure
and
thing.
I'll judge if I can take one. Yes, go for it.
Okay, great. We have a $10 donation from Theo240, who says, "Hey, Laurie, I'm so happy to be able to watch you speedrun through Star Allies live. Thanks again for being such a great friend and for knowing why they call it oven."
Oh, goodness. Okay, so this game has 2 Krakos in it. They decided that 1 Krako wasn't enough. So they added 2, because that's what challenges. Except here's the thing about adding 2 Krakos in your game, is that they go down very easily. But they still wanted to make this Krako a formidable ally. So they just go back to having 1 Krako, except this large. I really don't understand this game at times, but yeah, this is Big Krako. It's Krako except big. And also, it's dead now. So, that is level 4, which means we're now on the last level, which is the longest one by far. It has 2 checkpoints as opposed to just 1. And that's not just because, you know, the game thought it would be cool to do that. It's because this level is significantly longer than the other 2. I think, like, the second longest gold I have is, like, level 3s, and this level is, my gold in this level is, almost, I don't know how close to 2 minutes it is. It's definitely well over a minute and a half than level 3's gold. So, we're gonna be in this level for quite a bit.
Also, shout outs to the Dreamland 3 reference right there.
Yep.
And now Superstar.
What is this game not gonna reference? I wonder.
Yeah, honestly, that's probably the one stage I really like about the Mage Sisters route, is just the little bit of nostalgia that kind of comes through it.
There is absolutely everything. Some things you remember, some... Like, I ran this game before I started running Nightmare. And I found it very funny, because when I started running Nightmare in Dreamland, or not Nightmare in Dreamland, but Amazing Mirror, and when I did, like, my learning for Amazing Mirror, specifically 100%, I saw this set of screens, and I was like, wait a minute, these screens are in Star Allies. It's kind of subtle, actually. Just like how many screens in this game are remade from previous Kirby games. And like, not even iconic screens, like basic screens. It's kind of like, hey, you really have to play both games back to back to notice them. Which some people could say is lazy, and I'd agree with that, but I kind of like it at the same time. Also, this arena is pretty annoying because the bonkers, like, ideally they'll help you, but due to the game AI, they'll just keep following you, and instead of helping, you'll just have to go back and forth anyways. I got them to kill an enemy, which is better than nothing. Also, more speed power-ups. One good thing that's actually advantageous of this level is that they stay with you until you start a whole level. So the longer the level and the more power-ups that are in it, you know, the more powerful you'll be. Unfortunately, this level in, like, its route doesn't have a health power-up, which kind of sucks. I want to see if I can hit that. Nope, I didn't hit that Cable Blade with that friend heart. Okay, I'll just get an enemy in the next room. There should be you. Yeah. We have one more auto-scroller section. This one is not a train, though. It is whatever the heck this is. This is another good point for donations.
Great, because we have a $500 donation, which is amazing. Yes, that's really, really amazing. That also puts us so close to $10,000. So we are almost there. Just over 400 left. This is from GFX Ambassador, who says, great event for a great cause. Thanks to everyone involved. And donation goes to Runner's Choice.
Oh, all 500?
Mm-hmm.
So I get to basically dictate the Octopath character now, don't I?
If you like to, or you can put it toward one of the incentives, like bonus runs. So that's up to you.
Can I ask who's in the lead right now for Octopath?
It is still Hunnet.
All right.
Would you like
I'm
to
very
split
sorry.
it?
I know there are... Where is Hunnet right now?
Hunnet is $257. Cyrus is at 10.
Okay. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna hold the girl that I've wanted to win this from the whole time. I'm gonna throw 300 of that 500 to shift the bid war to Primrose for Octopath Traveler.
Okay.
And the other 200 can go to... There's that bonus game of, I believe it, Final Fantasy 3?
Correct.
Let's get that.
Okay.
This is what we call having a budget. I did good in economics, fun fact, when I took that. I took that last semester. It was a fun class, actually. So here we are in the last level. I've made it through 2 checkpoints. This is now the very last one. And this is a very difficult one. As I mentioned earlier, there's no health upgrades in this area. So, like, whatever health I have entering the final boss, health. I just made a very tricky cycle there. I made it to the left side of that lava block. That doesn't always happen there. And I just ran into that lava block, which is not great for my health. But it's fine. I'm still going through that room quickly, which is really my major concern. Because I could just be good at the game and my health won't. You know? The play of if you're just good, you don't need to worry about not getting hit. The final boss is very tricky though, but obviously I should describe that as we get closer to it instead of, you know, being a few screens away. The last few screens before the final boss are these very, very annoying arenas that have a lot of moving parts, and therefore I have been crushed in this section of the run more than I like to count, and crushing is an insta-death. So it's very, 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 very... It makes me very nervous, not just because of the crushing, but because of how many times this part of the game has just kind of, like, thrown me in the garbage. Right at the last second. This screen that I'm entering right now is, I believe, the last screen that has stuff on it before the final boss. Please, please, laser. Okay, you know what? That worked. So,
Yeah, I'd say that's close enough.
Okay, enemy, you want to not do that. Okay. I have died in that moving part before, so let's not do that, please. Okay. Here we go. We're coming up on the final boss. My health is not fantastic. It's serviceable. Again, I just need to not get hit. This is going to be Morpho Knight. A lot of these game modes feature the world's strongest warrior, Galacta Knight. In this game, Galacta Knight gets fused with a power that makes them even stronger, because they needed that. He functions a lot like Meta Knight in battle. So, you know, a lot of random stuff jumping around that I really don't want to deal with. I made it to the second phase. Time is going to be soon if I manage. It's when he takes his last bit of damage. So, hopefully get ready on that. Nope, never mind. Don't get ready on that. Dang it. That would have been a really good gold if I killed him there too, which sucks. Also, the game puts you all the way back out here, so I have to rush all the way back fight and do it all over again from phase 1, which is the luck-dependent awful phase. That phase that I just died to isn't, like, luck-dependent at all. It's just that I messed up my positioning on that sword and ran right into it, which is not a good thing to do when an enemy tries to hit you with a giant sword.
No, if the giant sword's coming at you, the solution is to not meet it with your face.
Well, I should have learned that sooner. I did good in economics in school, but I didn't do very good in sword dodging.
I'm sorry, I should have given a warning sooner.
No, it's fine. Time, by the way. So, yeah, that was Kirby Star Allies. I was guess. Morpho Knight's gonna explode, and then I'm gonna get my in-game time. It's probably going to be a 23. If I had to guess, because that's what my last, like, 20 million run. Okay, it was a PB by 3 seconds. 5 seconds. 3, 5, 5.
Congratulations.
Hey, Marathon PB.
We take those. I'm still a little bit upset because that was definitely like 22 3x or 22 2x pace. And my last like 10 runs of this game have been exactly like that. I died on the last level well on a like 20-second PB pace. But a 5-second PB is better than nothing, I guess. I actually lost 30 seconds in the last level, so yeah, that could have been like a 22, 20 something. But that's about it for this game. This game has a pretty small community, but it does have a lot of cool people. Also probably screenshot these so I can submit it. I'd like to thank the few people that have helped me a lot with this game, though, which is mainly Demolition14, who is insanely good at this game. And on top of that, I'd also like to thank a few people recently who have motivated me for competition by bopping me within the last month, those being Crafty Gamers and Tails41 Yoshi. It's either 41 or 14. My memory's horrible. But shout outs to those two in particular, because I still wanna bop them. All right, and that's all I have to say. So I'm not done on stream yet because we will be right back, and then I'll be playing Octopath Traveler.
Meanwhile, I'll be signing out since this was the only ever run I was commentated on. But yeah,
thank you for the commentary, by the way.
Yeah, no problem. And thanks Dave for having me, of course.
No problem.
All right, thank you so much. That was an awesome run to watch, and what a wonderful Kirby block. I'm getting ready to head out myself, but first of all, we will get in one last donation from me. This is $10 from Nidam, who says, "Girls playing video games for a great cause, plus Foo hosting. How could I not donate?" That is very sweet. Thank you so much. And thank you, everyone, for your donations so far. Make sure you continue to get those in, and for those incentives, we will be going to an ad, and we'll be right back.
Nigeria is a big country, quite diverse in terms of cultural differences, but when it comes to the number of children out of school, it is on top. And when I went to Nigeria, for the first time, I spoke about the girls who were abducted by Boko Haram. Like, everybody's just so desperate for this positive change of education for girls there, because girls feel that this is the only way through which they can have a future in which they can feel safe.
My name is Munira Erima. I work with Borno Women Development Initiative as the education manager. Girls across Nigeria face a lot of barriers with regards to education. So most of the girls who live in the locations where Boko Haram have taken over don't have access to school.
My name is Abubakar Askira. I am the Director of Programs and Administration in Hallmark Leadership Initiative. Students cannot access the school because of distance from their communities to the schools, especially the girls. The boys are less vulnerable because they are not the target, but for the girls, parents are afraid of being abducted and harassed while going to school.
And also there are cultures and traditions in Nigeria that do not allow girls or give opportunities for girls to go to school. And some traditions sees girls' education as a waste of resources and waste of time. I am a Malala Fund champion. I'm a local activist who tries to provide access for girls' education as well as to bring reforms with regards to free, safe, and quality education. In Nigeria, we have 7 champions. The Nigerian chapter meets in person, or we have meetings online to discuss our activities with regards to the objective of the chapter. Borno Women Development Initiative is partnering with Malala Fund in Nigeria to implement a project on the mobilization of girls back to school with the use of the approach of peer-to-peer education in order to have girls, both in school as well as out-of-school girls, to come together to discuss education issues and also to share knowledge and experiences with regards to challenges they face during the conduct of their learning.
We have reached out to about 500 out-of-school girls. We give opportunity to children to finish the schools and get the sense of responsibility to take care of themselves after secondary school.
We are seeing that the girls are now comfortable to be able to speak out with regards to what is their challenges to education.
Malala Fund encouraged me so that I can study and achieve what I want to be.
My hopes for the future is to see every Nigerian girl to be in school and to be able to achieve what she wants to achieve and to be able to become what she wants to become in the future. That is my hope.
Legend of Zelda. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. We're just going to go ahead and play a Twitch ad while we get set up for the next run. Hello, hello again. Again, I am Liz Star, and welcome to Frame Fatales. We're raising money for the Malalo charity, and we're getting set up for Octopath Traveler. That'll be in just 1 second. Before I do, let me read a donation or two. We have $10 from Crefius that says, "There can never be enough Poyo in our lives." And as the person who wrote Poyo on the glass in very terrible penmanship, I agree. And with that, it looks like we're ready. Let's get set with Octopath